Jersey, January 12th, and I'm Mark Friedman, just an American citizen. I love our country, and I love our country. What am I going to say? No notes, no synths, and please subscribe. No politics today. I've been doing most of that on the shorts, which I try to do as things are happening, but Jeff Beck died. You know, I'm a rocker. Old time. I love it. You know that from the albums I've been pulling out. I got a few to show you here. But Jeff Beck was a true legend among people who were into rock. He came out in the Yardbirds. That's when everybody knew him. And I'm too lazy to find the album. It's downstairs. I'll get it next time. I think I've had it, my Yardbirds Greatest Hits. But he came in after Eric Clapton. Everybody knew the Yardbirds because they had three of the greatest guitarists of all time back then. Eric Clapton, who left real fast. Jeff Beck, who had, 3 or 4 songs, happenings 10 times ago, or was that with him and Jimmy Page, who went out? I mean, Jimmy Page went out, became the last of the guitar, so he played with Jeff Beck for a little bit. They were good friends. And then Jimmy Page went on the road as Yardbirds and turned the group into what? Led Zeppelin. So Jeff Beck was just everywhere. Just one of the all-time greats, not just locked into rock. He's one of these guys who, when he played the guitar, you could kind of sing along with it. And to me, if you can sing along with what the guitars and lead guitar is playing, and the lead guitar is just putting tunes, then right on. Let's look at Jeff Beck. My favorite Jeff Beck album, Rough and Ready. Rough and Ready. With Bob Tent singing on here, and Cozy Powell on the drums, and Max Miller on the piano. Got the Feeling, Situation, Short Business, Max's tune. Listen, you put this album on, and if it ain't album, put it on digitally, turn it up. Don't get the enhanced ones. Listen to this with these 4 songs on here. You'll just go crazy. It just rocked. It still does rock. Their next album, I think this is their next album, Jeff Beck Group. Great album. Not as good as their first, but he's had the same guys on here, and Beck just explodes. And as we start moving our way up, I think it was this before then? Yes. Beck's Bolero. If you're going to be speaking somewhere, and you want music to precede you going up, you should play Beck's Bolero. I don't know why nobody does it. It's absolutely majestic. You had Jeff Beck, you had Jimmy Page, you had, who was it, John Paul Jones, you got Keith Moon. You know how much I love Keith Moon. Those guys just put Nicky Hopkins on keyboards, I believe. What a great song. Put on Beck's Bolero. Incredible. Beck goes out and goes with Rod Stewart, with Ron Wood. Then he goes Jeff Beck, Bogert, and Appice. I think this is before he was with Rod Stewart. The great thing is Carmine Appice. I always hear the argument. Is it a piece or is it Appice? Is it a piece or is it Appice? To me, it's Appice. And Tim Bogert and Appice were in Vanilla Fudge, and they took one of the Supremes' all-time greatest songs, You Keep Me Hanging On, and turned it into a psychedelic, incredible song. Meanwhile, because when you touch Jeff Beck, you just get great. Jeff Beck, Blow by Blow, his top album as far as most people are concerned. Basically, it's all instrumental. You just go for it. You just go for it, mostly instrumental. This guy can play guitar. Then you went to Jeff Beck Wired. He started rolling out, doing some other stuff with some of the same guys, Max Middleman, Jan Hammer. I was never a Jan Hammer fan. He went out and played with Jan Hammer later. Jan Hammer was, I call him Jan. Hammer was with the Mahavishnu Orchestra. What another great group. And he was too much with the hands and everything. So he went out and did his thing. Oh, by the way, the Yardbirds, Keith Relf went out, who was the lead singer for the Yardbirds, and was the lead singer for Renaissance. I saw Renaissance. The only thing I remember about Renaissance was they had some guy on the keyboards who kept dropping like a little weight on one note, and would do that at the beginning of each song, and you just sit there and you go, what's this guy doing? It's just, you just hear that sound, that note the whole time. So, Jeff Beck. But Beck went on, played with everybody and anybody, and then would reintroduce him when it was just kind of got me all psyched was he just played on Ozzy Osbourne's latest album, and Beck sounds beautiful. Look, this guy was a true legend. I've followed him for 50-some years, and when you're able to do that, you know who the real is and who isn't. Jeff Beck, I mean, listen to all the guys talk about him, all the guys, men or women, talk about him. Rod Stewart said he listened to me. He's the only guy who could play guitar and listen to me and play for me while I'm singing. The man was incredible. Incredible. Listen to it. Go to Beck's Bolero, though, if you want to just hear it. Put it on your headphones, crank it up, and just go crazy. And then start playing some old Yardbirds stuff. Just work Beck on from there. A real loss, but just music that's going to live on forever. Jeff Beck, a true guitar rock legend. Peace.